Hi everyone. Hope everything is well with you and your family and you are living a wonderful life. Let's start with the part 2 of the Docker Zero to Hero. This the main concept is of Docker, how it's work. I've already shared everything in previous video. You can look over that. And in this, the main is we will develop a live project that will be a Spring Boot application which will communicate with the MySQL database. And before that, we will try to know how we can install MySQL database in a Docker, not in our local system. From that, we will access that Docker in our system, and we will learn some basic things about Git also. It's we should know about that, right? Okay, we will learn that part at the end of the session. Before this, let's don't waste our time and let's start revise the previous topics and jump into the development part. Let me introduce myself that I am Dibas, a software engineer, working professional, and my LinkedIn is over here only. You can connect me if you have any doubt or you need any kind of information about any technology or anything. And yeah, my post content was about Docker, how it solve our problems, its architecture, and the basic commands we will use today also. And we will discuss about the main is running Spring Boot MySQL database in the Docker. That's it. Let's go through the slides actually that we have discussed about why we need Docker, how Docker container can prevent this loss is there. Then we discuss about virtual machines and how Docker help us save memory. And what is Docker? Basically, it's a powerful containerization platform that builds to for building, deploying, running the application. That's fabulous. And container. And container is something that use your container, store your application, softwares, project, everything it can store. Like in diagram, you can able to see MySQL. We will in previous video we have installed Ubuntu and access that. This in this we will install MySQL and access. Okay. We discuss about this containerization, how Docker and it helps. Okay, we discuss about the architecture, what you have, what the Docker provides, what the Docker Hub is, and we discuss about the benefits also. And this is the basic commands we should know about this. It's very important. It's a pretty basic commands only. You know about that here to check. Few command is for checking, few command is controlling the containers, and lastly it is running the application. The basic commands. We discuss about the workflow actually how it works and how you like in Docker registry hub, which is in the bottom, where we will pull the verified and licensed verified official images from the source to in our machine. Okay, we will discuss that. We will see in practical and how this was the demo. Basically, I have given in the previous video how we create a Docker file, how it builds to an image in the Docker, and how it if you run it and the container stores your image in the container and give you the access. And this is the exercise we done this part. You can find end to end each and every step practically in previous video, so we will not discuss about that. The main focus is this: how to install a MySQL with Docker on Windows. Let me specific to this Windows because I have Windows machine now. Okay, let's. You should prerequisite is you should install a Docker desktop. How do you know about if you have a Docker desktop? If you have a Docker desktop, you will simply able to know this is a software where you will able to you know about this. Okay. In images part, I have MySQL. I have removed other part because it doesn't need it. And based on the size and everything, you are able to memory is being allocated. So no issue on that. And this is the container. We'll try to start this one. Okay. Okay. This is the pretty good. Okay. Let's Docker pull MySQL is the command. Okay. So what we will do is we will first check Docker images. Right now I have images with the tag of this. If you want in your machine to execute this step 2, you can simply write Docker pull. Okay, you are pulling from Docker Hub. Okay, so MySQL colon 5.6. I am using 5.6 basically. It is a stable version and it's pretty good. You can use any latest version also, no issue on that also. If you have any problem, you can comment it or you can reach out to me. Okay, so no issue on that. And let's see the third command. If you want to run the master run, means the MySQL, you want to run it. Okay, if you want to run it, you have this. You can name it in a container that is a MySQL. That's that. You can name anything of your name or anything, MySQL or anything. Docker run is a command to run the image, and you have given an alias that is a name. Okay, and this is the port. Dash p is the port of a server to the local remote. Okay, you this is the default port. What the image uh, is the endpoint. Okay, oh, exactly, and this is will be the endpoint for you to access it. So you are keeping the same because you want to have a same only. You don't have to different. Otherwise, if some application has configured default, it will get impact. Okay. So dash E where you are editing this that MySQL read password with your this password, and dash D MySQL colon 5.6 you can type if you're running a 5.6, otherwise it will by default it will run your latest, so don't worry about that. And after that it is optional step to create a particular DB and set your password the same as this or anything, and grant some privileges to your user. This is the basic commands I have written over here to you if you want to play with it. Okay, it doesn't need in anything. Okay, this is very important. If you are working in a suppose you are working in a team and this Docker is being handled by your DevOps teams, so the team is different and their origin is different because they are working in some other places and you are working in some other places, and they have deployed in their own server space which is publicly accessible in the network of their organization. So what, how you able to identify? They will ask you, you can take it. So what you can do is you can check your image. Okay, Docker ps hyphen a. This will give me the current running status of the Docker container. Okay, basically, and where it in MySQL is the name which I have written, by executing this command. Okay, and the problem is I don't know in which network or which IP address is everything. So let me go history and take this command for you. Okay, uh, let me tell you about this. See, Docker inspect and dash f. You are finding this keyword. Okay, range dot network setting dot networks where ID address. That's it. From MySQL container where you can type this. So what will happen? You will able to know about in which actual it's running. Why it is doesn't show any output? Because see, what is the status? You basically you should know about the status also, how it's running or not. If not running, simply you can run by this or this. Okay, so you can type docker start. Okay, I have stopped this. Okay, and what we will do is now we will fire this command. Now you will able to see, oh, that's the endpoint in which it's been accessible. But in runtime, you have written this port also. If you have not written this port, then you go with this IP. Okay. If you have written on this, you point this. This is a local. So by default, Docker understand. Okay, you are running in a local. So let's give you every setup locally also. So you can simply you can use localhost and you can access this. Now, how to check whether it's been accessible or not? You can connect to MySQL Workbench if you have. Otherwise, go to third-party workspace, whichever you want. Okay. In my, I have Archetype. This is a very user-friendly tool, basically lightweight and very efficient way. So I have downloaded this part. You can download. You can use any type of. Okay. So no issue on that. So let's come to this. Uh, This is free right now because they are this is client environment they are providing us basically. Uh, let's delete it. Okay, let's delete it. Let's refresh it. Everything is fine or not. You can edit connection. Yes, you can check. Love. You can check it right now about this. See, there is a SQL. You can name it. I have written local. You have written this IP port number, and you have given my user. My user is what I have created like this. Create a user. My user. Okay, and I have given this password. Okay, and heck, I'm connecting to that, and you can check the connection if you want. That's n number of connection you can create. You can queries. This is a very good facility I have got. Okay, now we are done with this. Now we will develop a MyTracker that is Spring Boot with my SQL database. We will communicate with that. Prerequisite like Spring Boot, MySQL, Git, Docker, nothing but just a few commands, basic knowledge if you have, then it's pretty good to go. Okay, so don't worry about that. So we have, let's check. It was like, what is the status? Status is 3 minutes up, and if this 00 is a local host only. So this, if you are getting this TCP is port pointing to this, then you are well to have a connection with this. You will able to establish this connection. Okay, so don't worry about that part. Okay, let's go to Eclipse. You pretty sure you have this. familiar with this. Let's import my project. Actually, I'm already have it with me. I will try to solve that. My tracker. Okay. Let's finish it. Yeah, it will take some time. Okay. Meanwhile, let me tell you about this. You should check whether it's running or not. It should. You can open it and you can check in this tool also. Volume will be used. Images is in use. Container will say it's running. Right? It's running. The other terminal, open terminal you can write anything just in like MySQL or any queries you want. Okay. You can pause it. It will not if you're trying to communicate that, it will just like freeze and pause. It doesn't allow anything need to be start. All of sudden, if you start it, it will try to execute the queue pending requests. Like you can stop it, you can delete it, you can do. This is the user interface. So if you are good, you can use this command line. From command line, you can do a lot of things basically. And if you're not familiar, you are beginner, then go to this tool, that is Docker Desktop. You install it and use it freely without any hesitation. Okay, this is very pretty good. And let's check whether our project has been imported or not. It's important. Let me give you an overview of the project that will give you some glimpse about what it is. Uh, let's see. Here I have taken some basic data JPA starters, that is web starter, security starter, DevOps, develop tool starter. I have used JSP, so I have to include JSTL. Okay, I have used queries and Bootstrap. I have used and Lombok. I have used for getter setters and everything, and validation. Uh, every pretty decent one I have used. Okay, so let's check with the property files. What all the properties file I have. See, these are the basic things. Driver class. What is the class name? That's MySQL. And I have updated, written, updated, and this is the JDBC path where host name, port, and database name is there, and user ID, password is there. This is the dialect. If you don't give, also Spring will understand it is your dialect. If you are specific, then include it. If you want to skip it. No issue. I have some endpoints I have access. And this is the basic things. If you are using JSP, then you have to tell it says MVC view prefix is this. In this folder, I will have a web apps. Okay, and web apps I will have my JSPs. Correct? That at last will be JSP. So let's talk with this. You can sim. It's a pretty decent and light one only. So no need to worry about all these things. Pretty. Okay, that's common. I have created, and this is the footer where I've just included the script and that date picker should be this format. Header is in header. Some JSTL left we have written, and this is the first web application, and this is pretty decent one, like that one. Uh, this is what uh, hack check like. Let's see. It is URL and tech life is going to log out. This is navigation bar, and this is the error.jsp. If any error occurred, it will display. This message will be displayed. List of to do. I've simply created a table. A to do list will be there. Description, target date, is done or not, and pretty simple. I've written a for each where multiple items are there in list. I'm trying to read in using this variable, and based on that variable I'm using that member variables, that description, terms, target, what the pattern should look like, and there will be update and delete button also, so you can access this buttons. Pretty simple. Okay, now let's come to our welcome, where I am writing welcome. Your name will appear if you are login or some other is login, and then their session there, everything will be maintained. Okay, so don't worry about that. I think this is the pretty clear part, and there is the application. And here let's come with the Spring Boot Java part. Excellent. Good. Let's come with MyTracker, the main starter of the application. That is my track application, where we have annotated with that there is Spring Boot application, which have configured with Spring Boot configuration, enable auto configuration, and it's scanning the every component, everything from the base to the uh, from parent to the bases. Okay, like that. It scans everything. So it run your application basically. Here I have written this is the logger part. It doesn't need to know. It's also not know here. Uh, I will highlight this and tell you I am using the latest version 2.7.2, and here you should know about the update part. What Spring has updated is, you if you are using 2.7.0 above Spring Boot version, then you should know that in that part the Spring security has been changed. What is changed? Now Spring Framework developers are trying to move from that uh, from normal child parent dependencies to a component based architecture, because Spring, they believe this everything is a component, and this is what it makes the Spring Boot more easier and marketable. Okay, what is the problem? Let me show you. Basically it will help you, like earlier, before that you used to extend web security configure adapter. I think uh, it's pretty slow. Web security configure adapter. Yeah, this is the part. Web security configure adapter is been deprecated, and you should know what has came up. So it's came up like you are telling Spring, hey, it is a configuration, it's a component basically, because it's a component. Okay, it's a component. So it's a component, so also trying to extend the properties from this, and you are earlier overriding the HTTP security. Now what Spring is telling, don't do this. because in that class you have the override some few methods that will be your HTTP configure web like this. You have to HTTP login basic what you need basically. You have to tell Spring everything. So, but now Spring is telling don't tight couple the things make because you are making this a Spring security a component in the application. So just create a bean. We will handle that because it's this pretty basic and uh, traditional way how the Spring works actually. So you just create return type as a bean, security filter chain, and where you pass HTTP. You write all the below previous thing also. You can migrate it to if you are moving to more further more versions. Okay, 2.7.0 above. It is you need to follow this, otherwise it will show that deprecated. I don't like deprecated version to be used if you are upgrading. If you are sticking to that, it's okay to be. And what you can do, suppose your Spring has been moved up to 2.7.2, but you are getting deprecated, you can solve by two methods. Okay, remember two methods. What is, you create a bean of security filter chain, the rest will happen. And if you don't want to change any code, because uh, here it is very few lines, okay, but in actual project you will write where there are a lot of securities here. You are handling only user, there will be customers, users, bank officials, any business owners, stakeholders. So there are n numbers of uh, filters you have put. Any for security you have included CSRF tokens, XSR token. You are handling XSS filters. You are using cross filters also. So there are a lot of filters. If you are using, there will be more than 50 lines. Pretty good one, and you don't want to touch it because what happens is people uh, have a fear. I have seen that people used to have fear in changing the something like this. Like if by mistakenly you have done a space in between, it will not work as you want. If you have put the user and while tapping you have written like something like this, so it will not work. And sometimes what happen, the developer designer developer knows it what the functionality does, but suppose he tell, hey, my application is going to production, why I'm disabling all these things, let me enable it. So what happen is you don't know, you have to unit test everything before you move to commit also. So people used to afraid of changing anything because it's impacted the system, because this is the configuration filter. That's why they came up. It's a security filter chain where we are using our own Spring configuration, and of that you try to override our changes also. So let's create bean. We will inject it while uh, running our application. That will be good. Here I'm using admin, and I'm giving the privileges of user and admin. Okay, that's the pretty simple one. Let's come with the let's come with entity. That is a to-do list. I've created to-do class as a entity that's table with the name of to-do. And here what I'm doing is I've created a primary ID, that is ID, user, description, target date on which you want to list you are creating just and is done or not. That's it. Nothing more than that. And let's come to like repository. It's the interface where you extend the JPA repository where you by default gets a few methods. And let's take created user. By user I want something. So I've created this list. And let's come to service layer where I was doing some pretty exercise, so leave that part. Actually, I was doing to-do list, and then I adding three list. Okay, meditation at 6 a.m., book reading at 9 a.m., solving the lead code problem at 10 p.m. Just three basic and major important tasks to be need to accomplish before I sleep. I'm trying to figure it out there, but we will do dynamically. Okay, so add to-do list, and where we will add these few things, that is name, the description, target, date, and is done or not. We will increment the counter. Okay, right, pretty good. We will add new counters and everything to do, and we will add it. There I have created a retrieve to do method also. We will pass an ID. You based on ID we will able to fetch the to do because there will be list. So you need to specific when you are going to edit it. The right for that part. I want to list to do's list based on the user. So this is what I have written. Get user and filter it and give it. For update part, get the to do. We remove from the list and add it. Okay. Delete to do. Just from to do get the iterator and run till the iterator has values and check if to do has this ID matches, then remove that and leave the rest part. That is the pretty simple one. So surveys, repository, entity. So now the big show comes. That's the controller. Let's go through this error control I have created. If any exception occur, if I have written error control advice, that is there. If any exception comes, just exception and URL to error page so that we can analyze the error pretty uh, good. Uh, let's come to uh, dashboard. It's a default where I am showing the welcome page where I will take the user login user name I will get from this authentication object. It's a pretty simple one. Then go to do controller. That's the basically where we have written auto varied our repository and we have binded our something like if you are using local date it's something different, and if I am using date I'm using some this format. I need to have this format throughout my requests, so I'm using this one. Then list to do is there. Simple. The program is simple. That's you give the username based on that you get users list. For adding also default list is created dummy list so that there will be some bifurcations will be there. Okay. Delete to do. For delete we need ID in params so that we can delete and update the to do, and I will update it and we will get the result. We will push to model and we will push to the front end part to do. This is the basic where you will update it. It will validate everything is been pretty good and correct. And here I have written binding result, right? Binding result will check. if any error is there and to do or anything. So it will return to my front page to do. Otherwise, it will set the username who is accessing, and pr- from there I will save the record actually. It should not like any other user trying to update it. The same user. If other, then we will track it. So that's it. Okay. Everything I know pretty good. Let's run this application. You can use STS tool, that is Spring Tool Suite, and you can use IntelliJ also. Here I am using Eclipse because I think 80% developers are using Eclipse. It's pretty good and very comfortable. Yeah, I thought it will be good if we also go with that flow. Let's see. See, everything is bit running very smoothly. Let's check how Spring is it running fine or not. Let's see. Default for DevOps is also running. There is a one JP interface found. Okay, right? We have to do with us. And later point, yeah, this is the pretty cool thing. Database available at this location. Yes, this location it is. So if you are unable to connect this part in Docker, you are not able to get accessible in MySQL database or in here the static type any other. If you are able to access it, so you will able to see this part. The sequence is 5 now. So we can change it to 1 also. Okay, that's a pretty cool one. Now it's connected because if it is not there, then you will get an error of connection refused or connection timeout occurred. So this pretty, if you are getting this error, then go and check whether your Docker engine is running and your container it's been running and in this port and everything, and you are able to accessible in your workbench. If it is good, you are able to see the tables, then you can connect in through Spring MVC. What I want to tell you, the major and main thing is you have not installed MySQL database, MySQL software, anything in your system. I have used Workbench only for your sake to display you the contents. See, otherwise I used have not installed anything, no work, no anything. You don't need if you are using a Docker. You can auto deploy this thing also using Docker Jenkins. In previous video I have shown you. So this is pretty good one, I think, and it's running in I think default port that is 8080. I think we should also go to 8080. Yeah, see, the application is running and everything instance has been created. The session ID has been tracked. Okay, leave it that part. Now, you have already, I have shown you in security, we have configured that we will use password and admin as password. So I will type. admin. Right. So yes, we have got our this list. This is the home page. This is the to-do list page, and this will be the logout. Okay, let's first check our database. Is there anything? No. So let's add something. And by default, I have given something that default description and anything. Task one, wake up, morning, and that's the date. And just put that's pretty good. We have added something. Task two, book reading. That's 9 a.m. That will put tomorrow, August 8th, 9th, everything. And let's solve food problem. Okay, let's we'll have something that it. So here you are able to see pretty good decent one. This is a bootstrap, so you are able to see everything pretty nicely. Okay, so it's pretty good. I want to show you uh, in the database, right? See, everything is been present over here. Your user name is been tracked. Your target date is been tracked. Is done, not done, and your description, everything is been done. This is the task. Let's log out. Then again, you use your credential. Then for managing just go, you can see this. Hey, I have my to-do list to do, and based on that, you can do and you can update any changes. Suppose, let's see, if you want to update the date of this, I want to complete it in 8th only, 8th August. Tomorrow, I'm setting time for this tomorrow. This also, let me put tomorrow. We have changed the date also. Let's see what are the dates, right? This all the dates. How it's happening? It's very simple and easily efficient. The Docker is provided. So how much memory it's been used? See this much. The size, this much only memory used, and this has been used. This is pretty good one. Software has been there. The image is there, and what volume space? 115.8 MB. This is the space is been used in your local system because you are running in local. If it is deployed in cloud, it will take a cloud volume. Okay, it needs a something na something hard disk and anything to run. So it's been allocated of this much space, and based on over that, it's been running this application. This big size 300 to 3 times more the volume. How? To its functionality. It's pretty good one, and I think we have completed this Spring Boot application. We are able to communicate everything. That was pretty good one, and I think if you want this project, then comment me, then I can push it, give you the link. Before that, let me stop my application, right? That's what I will do. I will push it to GitHub. So what I can do is I can share this to GitHub, but I will not do like that. Okay, it's a pretty simple one. I will do the other way around. Like I will go to my GitHub account. Okay, you also do like this only. Here you create a new, you create, click on the new, type my tracker. You can add a readme. Let's don't add, we'll add later. Okay, it's public. Let me put it in the public so that you can take away something. And oh, that's a public license I put. That's great. Uh, I think I have created it. Okay, no issue. I will copy this HTTPS. Okay, what I will do is I will go to my command prompt. Let me create a separate terminal, and okay, let before that let me check what is the path. Okay, that is the path. What I will do, I will go to the path. Let's move to first E drive, then MyTracker. First, I will tell this is my Git repository for telling initiate initialize it. So it, it now it's the master has been clear. So I will add git remote, add origin. I will put this link over there. Okay, this part has been done, so I don't have to worry about that. Before that, uh, let me add some readme.md5. Okay, my tracker application. Let's start the tracker app. This is a Spring Boot application. Let's type to the tracker application. Okay, which communicate with MySQL database. Database. MySQL database was is running as a Docker image, right? Yeah, this is what. Let's keep it so simple. Let's check if our file is there. Okay, then we can check status. Okay, here you should know about what all files you need to commit. So I will share src form, but I don't want uh, pretty this one. So what I will do is I will go to dot Git ignore file. Here are already been generated. If you are using IntelliJ, I was working that, so it's by default came. Okay, you can type manual things also, so don't worry about that. You can customize. Okay, let me put things. I don't want this. Okay, okay, suspend. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think something wrong has happened. So don't worry. Let's open it again. Or we need to be added. So yeah, I don't want to push the git ignore. It is with me only. So readme.mb I want to push in GitHub. I don't want to push that Maven commands or everything. That's but it's good. Okay, everything is good. Let's see again. Git status. Yes, this three thing I want to push it. You can add git dot add. You can use star or dot anything. Ignore the warning because it's you are pushing the file. Let's check status. Yes, these all the files I will push to GitHub so that you can able to take the clone or majorly take the fork of it and do some implementation and push the pull request to me so that we can enhance this application further. We can together build something great in the weekend part. So utilize your weekend in productive way so that it will help you and enhance you your skills and logical skills basically. I think we should commit it. I will write initial commit. I can like to type like that. I can type basic to do tracker. As of now, I will put this comment only. Now what happened is just see here in the GitHub. Still my file has been not here. What you will do is git push the changes. Sorry, you need to type upstream your origin and your master. Origin is your remote location. It's telling also, and we have already set up that. I think we have set up. Yeah, we have set up. We have added our link to origin, so we don't have to worry about all this thing. Let's enter, and let's few seconds. It will push every changes to you. The it basically. Yes. Let refresh. And now what is this? Yes. Yes. I got it. What happened is it's been was main and it was master. So I have pushed the master over this. So when you will do like this, I will get this. What I will do is I will compare it. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, okay, no issue. Let's say comparing with this. No, no problem. I will manage it. I will compare it and push it to this repository. If you want this project, then let me know in comment as part. Hope you enjoyed this part installing MySQL in Docker and accessing that. And if you are running an application, you can also access MySQL database. You can have much more databases to be interacted over. Okay, so don't worry about the specific also. You can use Docker search command. So if you want MySQL database, you search the Docker. So Docker will give you the official links. So you can use this. You can also type if you want Ubuntu to install in Windows. You simply do. From that, officially, these versions are there. Sorry, these versions are there in officially. Ubuntu Web Sphere is there, Start is there, Nero DBN is there. So it's you can take, and this also is there. Some deprecated use of instead or this is the official one. So more star is there, so we will install this one. My suggestion is there. Okay. You can also let's search Oracle. I have never searched that. Uh, Official Docker build for Oracle Linux. So it means that it already has database, Oracle database in the Linux environment. So you can access that also. And other petty versions are also been present by different persons. They have pulled their this they have pushed this I mean say use Oracle client and everything. But my recommendation is don't install this. If you are doing for testing, you can go for it, but it's not good. Take care of your system also. It's also should be virus free and have content valuable content, not like anything you download and then this all these things. And I will say before trying to install this thing, make sure you delete it from the root also. If you want a root path, then comment to it. I will share the root path, but don't left it out because lefting out it will run some other programs in background to take some data out of you. So it's very crucial part when you are have a technology with you. Okay, now this is okay. You can download and use and check over it. I've never done that, but later we will do that. I think the best practice is verify the Docker images, verify Docker image. That is the official one. Don't forget to stop the container. I think you should stop the container. Before that, you will check any container is running. Yeah, it's running for since 45 minutes. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. And I think it will stop. It will take a few minutes. And it's been stopped. Right, that's a pretty good one. Happy coding, my friends. And I think we have covered this part. We already done this part also. We have run Jenkins server. We have run this exercise also how Docker file can run in a container. We install Ubuntu with this example. And we have installed a MySQL database in a Windows environment. We can able to access it locally, right? We have created a Spring Boot application which was communicating with this. These all are record commands, and this all the data we all have present. Yeah, now you can see encounter reveals this port is not accessible right now because I have stopped my container basically, right? Yes, that's a pretty good one. Thank you. I will say thank you and have a happy weekend and have a great life. I hope you find a valuable thing and let's tune with us for more updates. Thank you guys.